The Dybbuk box in the attic. Emma and Jake had been together for 3 years when they finally decided to buy their first home. It was an old Victorian house on the edge of town, charming, with creaky wooden floors and ivy crawling up its brick walls. The real estate agent mentioned it had been empty for decades, but that didn't matter to them. They were in love and eager to build a life together. On their first night, after unpacking boxes and celebrating with cheap champagne, Emma went up to the attic to store some old books. The dusty space felt colder than the rest of the house. In the far corner, covered by a moth-eaten blanket, she found an old wooden box. It was ornately carved, sealed with strange symbols, and had a heavy, oppressive aura about it. Emma, curious and slightly tipsy, called Jake up to see. "Looks like some old jewelry box," Jake said, shrugging. But Emma felt her chest tighten just standing near it. "I think we shouldn't open it." That night, they heard scratching coming from the attic. At first, they thought it was mice. But the noises grew louder, like something heavy dragging across the floor above them. Then came the whispering. At exactly 3:03 a.m., they heard faint, echoing voices speaking in a language they couldn't understand. Emma insisted they call a priest, but Jake, always the skeptic, laughed it off. Over the next week, things escalated. Emma saw a tall, shadowy figure standing at the foot of their bed, its face shrouded but eyes glowing faintly. Jake began sleepwalking, waking up in the attic every night, standing over the box. When Emma would wake him, he had deep scratches on his arms and legs he couldn't explain. One morning, they found the box open. Inside lay tufts of human hair, yellowed teeth, and a slip of parchment covered in Hebrew. Emma researched and discovered it was a Dybbuk box, a vessel meant to trap a restless spirit, or demon. That night, the air turned icy. Their lights flickered, doors slammed shut on their own, and the whispering voices roared, echoing through the walls. Emma tried to flee but found every door and window locked. She turned to Jake, but his eyes were vacant, and his mouth twisted into an unnatural grin. A deep, guttural voice erupted from him, "You should have left me sealed." Jake lunged at Emma. She ran, tripping down the stairs, crawling to the front door. At the last moment, she managed to pry it open and stumbled into the yard, screaming for help. When the neighbors arrived, they found her alone. The house was silent, no sign of Jake. The box was gone. Emma was taken to the hospital, half mad with terror, rambling about the thing inside Jake. Authorities searched the house, but Jake was never found. Emma was left with claw-like scars across her chest, a permanent reminder of the night the Dybbuk escaped. Years later, the house remains vacant again. Neighbors say they hear voices and see a tall shadow pacing in the attic window, waiting for its next victim. And the box. Some say it's still out there, waiting to be opened again.